Live on GBC24 and GTV, this is News Hour. Coming up, government poised to ensure peaceful elections.
Calm returns to Tafo after violent protest by the youth.
And in Guinea-Bissau, President Jose Mario Vaz names Bassirou Dia as Prime Minister. My name is Shirley Anan.
I'm Sirko Papucha. Good evening and you're welcome. The Minister for the Interior says the government will handle all issues relating to the upcoming elections with caution to ensure continued peace. Mr. Prosper Bani's comments comes on the back of reports that the government will shut down social media during the elections. The Minister was speaking during a security meeting with the United Nations team in Accra. As election 2016 draws near, a number of contentious issues have come up. Among them is the question of the voters' register being bloated and the need to clean it. This has also led to a number of heated arguments among people, including political party members. These and other developments coming a few months before the elections give reason for caution and alertness. The meeting between the Interior Minister and the UN country team in Accra was basically about security. The ministry assured Ghanaians and all political stakeholders of government's commitment to provide utmost security for them. He also spoke about the factor of social media.
When assessing the security situation of any time or event or environment, all aspects of the situation will be taken into consideration, irrespective of what those things will lead to for us to secure our citizens and all people living in this country.
After the meeting, the minister toured the UN Nations Humanitarian Warehouse where UN emergency supplies for the humanitarian community are stored.
President John Mahama has charged the civil service to be neutral, impartial and transparent in its duties to government. He says the civil service can serve the nation better if it stays clear of politics and focus on the cardinal objective of implementing policies for the public good. Mr. Mahama gave the advice when he swore into office members of the reconstituted Civil Service Council at the Flagstaff House in Accra.
Mr. Liberio Tuso, a retired civil servant, is the new chairman of the 7-member Civil Service Council, which will supervise and advise the state on issues relating to the civil service. Traditionally, the civil service is the engine room of ministries, departments and agencies, MDAs. By the nature of his role in state administration, the civil service is expected to be politically neutral, although it implements policies and programs of the political party in power and can advise the government. President John Mahama implored the new Civil Service Council to be guided by the cardinal principle of the service. The president indicated that a measure that seeks to match rewards for labor with productivity will soon be put into operation.
I believe that higher productivity would lead to higher growth, and higher growth would mean that government can afford to remunerate workers even better. One of the major complaints of the service is bureaucracy and red tape. And so I expect that this council will work with the service to ensure that as much as possible, even while adhering to regulations and following procedures, we try and remove bureaucracy and administrative bottlenecks.
The new chairman of the Civil Service Council assured the president of the commitment of members to get the job done.
We pledge to apply our knowledge and energies as well as our experiences fully in the discharge of the mandate assigned to us so that we can assist the civil service to perform its functions effectively and efficiently.
The request was placed before the president to take part in conferences held by chief directors of the various ministries.
The need for traditional leaders to release land banks for cocoa production has again been emphasized at a ceremony to honor dedicated staff of the Cocoa Research Institute at Tafo. The Eastern Regional Minister, Mavis Frimpong, said Ghana's cocoa production would increase if more lands were made available for farming. 23 workers of the Cocoa Research Institute of Ghana were awarded in various categories at the Best Workers Awards. The board chairman of the Cocoa Board, Mr. Daniel Ohine Jekum, advised staff of the institute to continue to give of their best. The Eastern Regional Minister, Madame Amafrim Pong, encouraged the chiefs to provide land for cocoa production. The Deputy Chief Executive of Cocoa Board, Dr. F.K. Opong, said it is imperative for the Cocoa Research Institute of Ghana to put in innovative measures to boost production.
Relative calm has been restored at Tafo Krofrom in Kumasi after some youth in the town took to the street to protest against the death of a 22-year-old man suspected to have been killed by the police. Police have started investigations into the matter.
According to an eyewitness who is a food vendor, the victim, Osei Yauteria, 22 years, is one of her loyal customers. She said Teria came to a joint at about 10 p.m. on Thursday, 26th May, to buy food. But after eating, he left his bag in her care to attend to nature's call at a nearby public toilet. But after a while, she saw Teria being beaten mercilessly by the police patrol team and was handcuffed. She went to the police and pleaded with them that Teria is not a thief they have been looking for, but her plea was ignored. The police eventually sent the victim to the Mincha Government Hospital, where he was pronounced clinically dead on arrival. In a reaction to the alleged police brutality against the late Teria, the youth in the area took to the streets, chanting war songs and mounting roadblocks in demand for justice for the man. The intervention of the police helped to restore peace in the area. Meanwhile, the public relations officer of the Ashanti Regional Police Command, ASP Yusuf Mohammed Tanku, said initial checks by the police showed bruises on the body of Teria, but could not tell exactly what caused it. According to the police PRO, there are conflicting reports that the victim was beaten by a mob, which claimed that he was a thief. Another report indicates that the police personnel assaulted him. He assured the public that the police will work hard to get to the bottom of the matter and appealed to the youth in Tafo to exercise restraint.
15 members of staff with the television technical department of the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation have bowed out of service. They served the corporation for various periods ranging from 29 to 41 years. The director of TV technical production of the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation GBC, Mr. Oscar Incho, who was at their send-off ceremony, hailed their contribution to the corporation and asked the younger employees to be selfless and committed.
The TV Technical Welfare of the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation GBC was established in 1985 to cater for the interests of its members. The association is made up of the camera department, satellites, MCR, VTR, studios, among others. The latest send-off ceremony is the 16th, with 15 staff saying bye-bye to their colleagues after serving for decades. The 15 retirees were presented with prizes from various departments of the technical division of GBC. The director of the TV technical production for the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, Mr. Oscar Incho, advised younger technicians to learn from the older generation and also blend it with modern trends in order to be relevant in this era of technological advancement.
It is not everybody who has been lucky to retire healthy and be able to come back whenever there has been an invitation. Some people have retired with all sorts of problems. The young people will continue the good work of the seniors who have worked so hard and have now been blessed with going to have a rest.
Madame Felicia Noma, a former studio manager for TV studios who worked for the past 36 years, shared her experience while in GBC.
I worked for TV from 85 to my retirement date. It's very difficult working because in the night, if you are supposed to be on duty, you have to stay till any program which goes on and then it ends before you close.
The former Deputy Director of Technical Production for Television, Mr. Yao Apalu, who was the second longest service director, encouraged the technicians to put in more effort to make the technical department and GBC a success.
In the broadcast industry, especially if you want to be in the engineering technological field. You should be ready to apply yourself to change, because it's a very fast changing field that you have to be learning day in, day out, or then you would not be relevant.
He entreated the technicians to plan for their retirement strategically to avoid future challenges.
Palm oil producers and processors at Achim Abadom in the eastern region have called for an effective policy to boost production. Ghana currently produces 100,000 metric tons of palm oil, whilst Gabon and other neighboring countries produce over 200,000 metric tons.
It is estimated that about 80% of Ghana's annual palm oil output is produced by grassroots artisanal palm oil producers, with the bulk located in the Kwaibi Brim district. Despite the vibrant palm oil processing activities scattered all over the district, poverty is endemic in the region, and it is confirmed by low infrastructural development. Palm oil winning has been a traditional business passed on from generation without corresponding technical improvement and innovations. The processing operations deteriorates the quality of palm oil produced by the producers. The palm oil is subjected to excessive heating, which destroys the carotene content that gives the palm oil its reddish color. 90% of oil from artisanal producers is adulterated with Sudan 4 dye, which is linked to cancer. It is for this reason that the Institute of Applied Science and Technology of the University of Ghana organized a forum for palm oil producers to enable them to improve their knowledge on the pre-processing, processing and post-processing operations. The managing director of Budu Consult, Mr. Atokwamena Budu Amwako, bemoaned the dwindling nature of palm oil production in Ghana. The acting director of the Institute of Applied Science and Technology, Professor Ajiman Boatin Onuna, indicated that his outfit is collaborating with the Technology Development and Training Center to research into the methods used in production.
Stages be bra ekum ansana emona eden aba say steps ne baako anamienu uyen from so rote emona beba no enye papa emom si ebedu si e ko yesem no si e konyo the quality no ewo.
A representative from the Foods and Drugs Authority, Mr. Kwache, said it is important for every product to be screened before consumption to ensure safety. The managing director of Budu Consol, Mr. Atokwamina Budu Amwako, expressed regrets about the state of the agricultural sector in the country.
It took Nigeria about 40 years to get to where they are now. Crude oil in 2008, everything there, 4 billion, 4, and Saka. Last year, Indonesia had 24 billion, 24.5 billion from palm oil. Malaysia had 19 point something billion. I think I can back home and so
a participant, Mary Adabal, spoke to GBC24 about her expectations.
Person person me nyefri mi say adwuma na me empese beye kese etre e mame na bibia me be yi afeso enye sika ye betimi dia ye adwuma na me adwuma na akoso ama obia na e wo se wonya
A book titled Go Back to Nature and Heal Yourself has been launched at a ceremony in Accra. The author of the book, Mr. Gedip Hari, who is a former managing director of IPMC, said the book seeks to educate people to live and maintain a healthy lifestyle.
The ceremony was graced by the Minister for Education, Professor Jane Nana Opokwajiman, and directors and staff of IPMC. The book, Go Back to Nature and Heal Yourself, is the second in a series to be introduced by the author, Mr. Gedip Hari. The first is entitled The Conscious, Unconscious and Superconscious Mind, Light of Hope, mental, physical and spiritual health. The content seeks to create the awareness of living a healthy lifestyle. It also provides suggestions on spiritual upbringing and how one can get closer to God.
6 years back, I didn't know what was fasting, why people fast, why Muslims fast for 30 days and Christians fast for 40 days. I couldn't understand, and Hindus, they fast like some every week or every month. So I got to know about fasting and I started making practical application of that fasting. This book contains, it explains what is fasting and how fasting should be done.
The author, Mr. Gurdip Hari, also cut a ribbon for the construction of a new school building project to be located at Medina. The Minister for Education, Professor Jane Nano Bukwajiman, gave an impression about the project.
What the school intends to do, is focusing on healthy mind. It's focusing on skills that children come with. So it's giving opportunity for maybe dance, for artwork. All of these are important because young learners especially express themselves in different ways. Okay, and they learn differently. For some it's about hearing, for some it's about touching, for others it's about being part of participating. So a good teacher, you'll notice at the lower levels, will vary the methodology even in a single class.
Still the news on GBC24 Business is next. Please stay with us.
Hello, good evening and welcome. We are grateful to have you join us for some business update. I am Dorothy Ajamine. Vivo Energy is working in partnership with the National Road Safety Commission on a campaign to get drivers not to drink and drive. As part of the campaign, drivers at the Achi Motor Bus Terminal had their alcohol intake level checked ahead of their journey. This was made possible through the use of breath analyzers or alcometers donated by Vivo Energy.
The presentation of the alcohol analyzers to managers of the Achimota Bus Terminal follows a 3-day defensive driving training organized for over 250 drivers at the bus terminal. The program forms part of Vivo Energy's annual Safety Day. The training was to encourage the drivers to cultivate the culture of safe driving and to ensure that drivers exhibit professional driving skills. As part of the campaign, motorists at the Achimota Bus Terminal will soon be required to be tested for the level of alcohol intake at the entrance of the terminal before they will be allowed to embark on their journey. The breath test, which will be performed 3 times daily, is to discourage the intake of any alcoholic beverage before reporting to work. A driver who tests positive will not be allowed to work at the terminal on that day. Managers of the terminal demonstrated how the alcohol meter will be used at the entrance.
Negative for Ebenezer. That means that Ebenezer has no alcohol in the breath.
The Corporate Communication Manager of Vivo Energy Ghana, Mrs. Shirley Tony Kum, explained the reason behind the presentation of the alcohol meter.
Road safety is one of our core corporate social responsibility as a company. Vivo Energy has invested a lot in this area just to reduce the carnage on our road. We do that in collaboration with the National Road Safety Commission. We've collaborated on a number of programs both in schools and at the terminals.
The manager of the Achimota Bus Terminal, Mr. Charles Annan, expressed appreciation for the gesture, adding that the exercise will help the drivers and also save lives.
What is going to happen is that if a car gets full and it gets to the exit point, that is where we check our ticket, that is where we check everything. So when you get there to just a few seconds, you blow into the pipe. If we test you and you are positive, immediately we return the car and then we bring a new car to come and take the passengers away. A new driver who hasn't drunk that moment.
Some of the drivers at the terminal spoke to GBC24.
We will test them 3 times daily to find out whether they have taken some alcohol. This will help prevent accidents on our roads.
If they've taken in alcohol, and maybe you, the executives,
told him he has taken alcohol, he will be denying you. So what we will do is, with the machine, when you deny us, we will take you to a test, and the test will prove either you have taken in alcohol or you have not taken in alcohol. And if really you have taken in alcohol, we the executives will know how to deal with you.
Vivo Energy says it is committed to achieving and maintaining the highest international standards in health, safety, security and environment.
Agromite Limited, a leading agriculture equipment company, has launched equipment for seeding and planting at a ceremony in Tamale. A demonstration on how to use the machines was carried out with the involvement of participants who were mostly farmers and head of civil society organizations.
Agromite Limited is an agricultural business firm engaged in commodity trading, food production and provision of mechanized services for smallholder farmers. The company also deals in agricultural machinery and farm equipment, sales and servicing. Agromite is interested in transforming smallholder farmers from subsistence level to sustained profit enterprise using the value chain management approach through the provision of appropriate technologies and the linking of smallholder farmers to well-structured markets. The innovative equipment launched include automatic nursery machines, seed drills, lesser land leveling equipment, ring plastering machines, straw baler as well as multi-crop shelter. The Deputy Minister for Food and Agriculture in charge of crops, Dr. Yakubu Al-Hassan, said agricultural mechanization is a priority of government. He said the youth of today are scientific technology sophisticated, and therefore such technologies being introduced by Agromite would encourage them to venture into agriculture. The director of Agromite Limited, Dr. Henry Enim Somua, said apart from selling equipment, the company also provides comprehensive training, after-sales support and services, and extended warranty, as well as monitoring and management of tools.
What we have observed is that traditionally our seeding practices have come against us in terms of our yields. Our traditional methods, particularly the example I give is rice, where a large number of our farmers just broadcast the seeds, and sometimes they go through with a plow after they had broadcasted. So our solution to that is to get a seed bed prepared in a way that you can manage your seed planting and get the optimum yield that you require.
Agromite has also collaborated with international development-oriented bodies such as USAID Feed to introduce technologies in the maize, soybean and rice value chain in northern Ghana.
We move to the Ashanti region, where a debate of chiefs has been held at the Menshia Palace in Kumasi in honor of the Earl of Wessex, Prince Anthony Richard Edward. The visit of Prince Edward to the Menshia Palace was in recognition of the long-standing relationship between the Ashanti Kingdom and the British monarchy, predating Ghana's independence. The Asantehene Otumfuo said to use the occasion to present a gold-plated gift to be given to Queen Elizabeth.
The Earl of Wessex, Prince Anthony Richard Edward, the fourth child of Queen Elizabeth and the Prince of Wales, Prince Philip, is a Marine Cadet officer by profession. His visit to the Menshia Palace in Kumasi formed part of his 3-day official working visit to Ghana to witness the presentation of the Head of State Awards to exemplary Ghanaian youth. His visit to the Menshia Palace was to deepen the relationship that has existed between the Asante Kingdom and the British monarchy, dating back to the colonial era. Also on his entourage to the Menshia Palace was the chairman of the Duke of Edinburgh Awards Foundation, Lord Paul Boateng, the British High Commissioner to Ghana, John Benjamin, and the Minister for Youth and Sports, Edwin Nilante Vanderpoy. They were led to the Menshia Palace by the Ashanti Regional Minister, John Alexander Akon, and his deputy, Andy Okra. The chairman of the Duke of Edinburgh Awards Foundation, Lord Paul Boateng, also stressed the importance of formal education to national development.
Otumfuo, Your Majesty, you have put education for all the people of Ghana, not just for the Asante Kingdom. but for all the people of Ghana.
Mutumfo Osei Tutu, whose address was delivered by the Dwabehin Nana Otuo Sribo, recounted the long historical relationship between the British monarchy and the Asante Kingdom. He entreated the latest winners of the Head of State Award to be trailblazers and exemplary in their respective fields of endeavor.
The Head of State Award in Ghana is virtually on all fours with his vision and mission that is encapsulated in his charity foundation, which supports his social and noble programs. I hope that the two bodies will sit and find areas of common interest and common convergence so that we can chart a path which will be mutually beneficial to everybody and all that come in his way in Ghana.
The Asantehene presented a gold-plated gift to be delivered to Queen Elizabeth and a kente cloth to Prince Edward. Later, Prince Edward visited the Kumasi Ratri Park, where he planted a commemorative tree. The recreational facility has been named after a British soldier, Captain Ratri, who died in Ghana.
The Central Region, a period of economic challenges in the country, especially between the period December 2013 to 2015, saw the policy rate of the Bank of Ghana increase from 18% to 26%. The development rattled credit unions in the country since such unions offer credit assistance to workers. This was mentioned in the Educational and Biennial Delegates Conference report of the Credit Union Association of Ghana held in the Central Region. The Ghana Cooperative Credit Unions Association aims to be self-sustaining to market the credit union concept. COA seeks to provide financial and technical products and services to members and build a strong and committed staff. The meeting was informed that legislative instrument LI 2225 that regulates the activities of credit unions in Ghana has finally been passed by Parliament, and a 5-year strategic plan to guide COA has also been developed. Mr. Charles Esuayabua is the national chairman of COA.
The inadequate power supply coupled with the continuous escalations in fuel and utilities prices really had a toll on business growth. The immense influx of microfinance institutions, penetration of most commercial banks in the district and municipal assemblies where credit unions operate have tightened the competition in the financial market.
The guest speaker from Bank of Ghana is Mrs. Patience Yabua Nkansa.
Credit union members are required to participate in credit union services, such as buying the minimum shares, making regular savings, and repaying loans contracted to make the credit unions viable. Another way is for members to fulfill their obligations to the union and to take up effective leadership roles in their credit unions.
Outstanding and hard-working chapters received recognition for their achievements. You're watching the business segment of the news, and moving on. Closing the trading week, the cedi lost 3 pesos to the pound sterling to trade at 5 cedis, 62 pesos. To the euro, the cedi lost a peso to trade at 4 cedis, 28 pesos. However, the local currency maintained its value against the dollar to trade at 3 cedis, 83 pesos. On the commodities market, light crude lost 45 cents to trade at $49.03 per barrel. Gold also depreciated by $2.20 to trade at $1,218.20 an ounce, and cocoa inched up by $34 to trade at $2,950 per ton. Coming up is the board. insurance news, the Managing Director of Activa International Insurance, Mr. Stephen Chematin, is calling on the government and the various sports teams across the country to consider providing insurance cover for sportsmen and women during their active years to indemnify them in the event of any injuries. He said it is high time authorities to introduce body parts insurance to the sportsmen for them to sign onto it to help them in their line of duties.
Of this reference is to take the opportunity to sensitize Ghanaians on the value and importance of insurance in general, and to appeal to the government as well as the various sports organizations in Ghana to seriously consider providing available insurance coverage to our gallant sportsmen and women during their useful sporting lives, such that if they suffer any mishaps, they would enjoy insurance indemnity. Simple insurance products such as personal accident insurance, health insurance, life insurance, etc., will be appreciated by our sports heroes. In other environments, it is known, for example, that prize boxers are able to insure their wrists against accidental damage and injuries sustained during the course of boxing bouts. However, this is not the kind of coverage I'm referring to here. Activa International Insurance Company, like other insurance companies in Ghana, are willing and able to provide solid insurance coverage to Ghanaians, be they corporate and individuals, in all classes of insurance other than life insurance. That is, Activa Insurance currently doesn't have a license to offer life insurance products to the market. But there are other companies in the market who can provide life insurance to clients.
Insurance news was brought to you by SIC Live. We have more news coming up. Please do stay.
Good evening, and it's always a pleasure to come your way with the health segment of the news, brought to you by FPAC, blows your pain away. My name is Evans Echampong. A cross-section of the public wants a speedy enforcement of the directive to tobacco companies to package their products with pictorial health warnings. Given the devastating effects of smoking on the human body, others have called for a total ban on tobacco and its products to prevent needless deaths. The health desk has been speaking to a man who quit smoking after 20 years and has since stayed clear of cigarettes. A report by Sarah Ofori.
Tobacco harms every part of the body. Both internal and external organs are usually not spared from this potentially fatal substance. Moses Adajab is a 37-year-old father of 4. Until recently, he was a chain smoker. This was of grave concern to his family. Felix Adajab is Moses' firstborn child, who for 19 years had seen his father smoke cigarettes.
At those times when you ask him for money, he will tell you that he don't have money, but you see him buying cigarette sticks. It disturbs us a lot because most of the money that you have to use to take care of us, you always divert those finances to cigarette smoking.
Moses has resorted to drinking alcohol, although his wish is to remain clean and somber. Tobacco producing companies are supposed to emboss on their packages health warnings not only in text but also in pictures. The Framework Convention on Tobacco Control says tobacco product packaging and labeling should not be promoted by any false means. It must also not be misleading, deceptive, or likely to create an erroneous impression about the characteristics, health effects, hazards, or emissions.
Most of the people who are into tobacco smoking are not educated, and most of them cannot read what they have written on the pack. So but I knew that they understand pictures. So if the pictures are on the pack, it will help them writing it.
For those who do not smoke, we don't want them to start. If you start, you're guaranteeing that there's a high chance you'll die prematurely.
Here are some views from the public.
obi eke wonyema bi ani mosgalete sana fe ni eba tvm kodu mo fia mo na kesgalete ko do enyi fa paper en taratare bebia krom titru bebia ye tonsa
Oyinbe eche to as great smoking is health. E wo ke do an po me se egbe. E wo me ke kan ko me to pa fe mo kwa ni ma me ajomo.
Unu garete ni gu widua mu saa wo disika na ato. No asa disika to yare na gu ni padua mu. Ye ko ye sadura bebre kwa. Ase wo ni padua. Wo ahwe kura no wo firi wi ase wa bra. Enya Nyankopon na afro that time no.
Akeko me fi akotesh. Ini wo anya ya mumu ni ke gbemene. Ni always say one again. You for nothing. Because God take action, how the person can stop all this nonsense?
I insist with the pictures. It's a very good idea that they put the pictures on it so that it will scare them.
These three women have a relative on admission who is suffering from stroke. They attribute his illness to incessant smoking. Madagascar, Mauritius, Namibia and Seychelles have all gone ahead of Ghana to implement the pictorial health warning. Proponents of tobacco control are therefore urging government to enforce the convention it ratified since 2004. Serofuri, GBC24, Accra.
And that does it for this segment tonight. International news comes up shortly after the break. Stay tuned.
Well, in international news, Guinea-Bissau President Jose Mario Vaz has named Bassirou Dia as Prime Minister. Both members of the ruling and opposition parties are against the appointment of Dia, who served in that capacity briefly in August 2015 before he was forced by the Supreme Court to step down after his appointment was challenged by the ruling party for breach of their constitution. Bassirou Dia's appointment comes 2 weeks after President Vaz dissolved the Carlos Correa-led government.
Let's talk sports. I'm Theophilus Sampa. The Ghana police men and women's volleyball team recorded mixed results in the ongoing Greater Accra Volleyball League. Whilst the men thrashed Air Force in 3 straight sets, the women lost by 3 sets to 1. The Lebanon House in Accra was the venue for one of the matchday 6 fixtures in the ongoing Greater Accra Volleyball League. These ladies clashed with the Ghana Air Force. The fiercely contested clash saw the Air Force ladies in the blue and white jerseys winning the first set by 25 points to 21. Police, who for themselves have tagged as one of the favorites to win the league, could not handle the spikes and smashes that landed on their court. Air Force won the second set by 25 points to 13. However, police recovered and got their rhythm back. They won the third set by 25 points to 14. Here are some reactions from the coaches and players.
You have been champion for so long, so once a while this thing. But the league is not lost yet. We are coming back. They should be prepared. We lost only 1 game so far, and teams have lost. So we are playing. I'm going back to the drawing board and put my players into place, and then we see what will happen. There is hope.
I'm very, very happy. The league is not ended, but we are still prepared. We have more teams ahead, and all of them are strong. Now you can't beat any team cheap. Everybody is preparing to play. When you win the tournament, you travel, so everybody is ready to travel.
We feel very happy, very great that we've beaten police because they've been the champions for so many years.
The police in the all-white jersey made amends as they thrashed Air Force by 3 straight sets. Police lived to that hype with a dominant display, reducing the encounter to a 1-horse race. Ironically, Air Force started as the brightest side, winning the first 2 points, but when police recovered, they were simply unstoppable. They won all 3 sets. There were mixed reactions from the coaches.
The Air Force team bragged that they are going to end the supremacy of both men and women. And I told them that for men, they shouldn't think, they shouldn't dream. It will take them years to overcome us. No team in Ghana
can beat this team. If any team beat this team, our team, then it's our doing. And then the players were complacent. That's all.
The finals of this year's knockout competition is set for Tuesday at the Lebanon House. Policemen will lock horns with immigration once Air Force takes on police in the crunch time. Round of matches to end the first season of the National Women's Football League will take place on Saturday at the various league centers. Here are the pairings. In the Southern Zone, Halifax Ladies will tackle Bafana Ladies. Hazakes Ladies then takes on Police Ladies. Soccer Intellectuals will face Immigration, and Samira Ladies will battle Lady Strikers. In the Northern Zone, Sunyani Coronation Park will see Prisons Ladies playing against Sampim Dakwa. Fabulous Ladies will then welcome Subayu Golden Ladies. Real Upper Ladies then takes on Northern Ladies, and Lepo Ladies will battle Ashtown Ladies. That's all for sports.
Hello, good evening. Time for some arts news. My name is Valerie Danso. Before the rise of discos and DJ-based recorded music, live bands were the in thing on the dance floor. Ghana is noted for high life music, but the changing nature of music genres and the growing local taste for foreign music has greatly influenced high life. The news team visited the VVV studios here in Accra to observe a recording session and the kind of music that's trending. Ghana is noted for high life music, but the changing nature of music genres and the growing local taste for foreign music has greatly influenced high life. The pioneers of high life music back in the days were noted for rehearsing and performing with live bands. They also recorded live in the studios, but the trend has changed. Digital recording has taken over. Some artists are of the view that recording live is more expensive and time-consuming. The VVV studios revealed the reason why it is best to record with a live band. The difference between digital recording and live recording is that a musician is very mechanical when recording digitally and not emotionally involved in the creation of the song, unlike recording live. Ghana is globally recognized for high life music, but the current crop of musicians are mainly involved in digital production, not of high life, but of rock music and other genres. This, according to Professor Frimpong, is killing live band music and the ability of these artists to perform live.
Well, you see, Ghana has always been, if I like, a flag bearer for most of the developments that occur on the African continent. Everybody seems to be interested in the, synthetic reproduction of sound, digital means, and we think that is not very entertaining enough. You see, so we chose to do live recording where you have live musical performers in the studio playing live. The name of the game is live recording. Without live recording, Ghana music cannot go very far.
During our time in the studio, two live recording artists, Naya Planche and Zali Hali, gave us a teaser.
You see, and nobody knows, and no one will do. If you don't rise, then you have to wait, but you must realize that the life is your own, and then you see the light at the end of the work hard. Are we just copying, or we are trying to be ourselves, but we want to show them this? Because when we take high life, they are not able to play. So imagine you still doing their dance hall, but when they still hear it, it's quality. They feel like you see what Shakira came to take Zamina Mina Hele. She played the African drums. She did a song, My Waist, about her hips. She played certain trumpets, not the popular trumpet,
That's all in this segment. The weather report is next.
That's it for news on GBC24 GTV. News tonight is at 10:30. Please keep watching.
Good evening.